It's only been a couple hours. I've been doing some work with my tractor, cutting these bushes back. In the meantime, some goodies came in for the Goldwing. So my last video, I showed I had a power port in here. Got a bit of a mess in here. But I have a power port here now, which I can use. Keep all the Cena stuff in here, might as well. Can use this. It does work, just tested it. Plug it in there and it'll power up the free wire with the bike because it's on a relay that's triggered off the ignition switch. So that'll work to power up the free wire. So the free wire will run in conjunction with the switch on the bike, power it and run it. So I got that done. The last video I showed, this guy was messed up a little bit. I just popped that back on, back into place. So nice clean line there. Fix that. I also got my little Bluetooth remote. So this little guy will actually let me forward, back, volume up, volume down, play, pause on my cell phone without having to touch the phone, because can't really touch the phone with the screen on the screen with gloves on. Have to have open hands, and when you're wearing gloves it doesn't work. So I have this now, and it's just actually came with a band. I just mount it to this arm for my Ram Mounts cup holder. Something else I failed to mention about this Goldwing from the previous video is, if you'll look, this guy here, let me get it focused. Notice that's 7. Well, wait a minute, that's 7. Why is that 7? Because you come back here, it's the factory one here, that's 5. Well, gee, I wonder what the difference could be. Well, I will demonstrate to you in just a moment. This motorcycle, previous owner, wore half helmets. I'm not here to argue the opinion of half helmets, but a lot of half helmets you can't mount a microphone in your helmet. And they never use the intercom. This bike's so quiet. Why? So the previous owner had this kit from J&M. When you think about it, it's pretty easy. Check this out. It's like a hand mic from a regular CB radio, but when you look, it's got 7 pins. So what this does is it can connect to the 5-pin slot, or 7-pin slot on that one. And was it 3 or 4 of the pins on this microphone? Has to be 4, because the microphone is a plus and minus on one. And I actually got the mount in here that uses a ram mount, and I can actually have it suspended up here. So I can actually have the mic hanging right here. Pull it off, push a button, talk, put it back. It's all, I keep it all in there, just in case. I mean, I don't know. It's fun. Sorry. I'll close that back up when I'm done with the video. But anyway, so what that kit is that the helmet uses a standard 5, the headsets use a standard 5-pin. So you got left positive for the speakers, right positive for a speaker, negative for both speakers, positive microphone, negative microphone. So what this does is adds the loop in to where the microphone, the handheld mic, you push the button for the push to talk on the microphone itself. It's the same as your push to talk here. So this goes down below the pocket, splits off the other 2 wires, and actually tags into the harness for this button here. So it gives you a second push to talk button. That's a pretty fun feature there. You can use a hand mic if you're wearing an open helmet, or you know, you're waiting for your buddies and you're sitting on the side of the road and have your helmet off. You can plug that in for a few and be listening or respond to the CB. Or if something happens and the helmet headset system completely fails, I can have, I know it's not the most convenient, but it's better than nothing. And the cool thing is, because of the way it's made, if you'll look, all but those last 2 pins are the same exact design as a 5-pin. So a standard headset still plugs into it and still works as normal. But the difference is you can have the extra 2 pins for running that microphone. That's a pretty neat kit. You can't buy it anymore. But looking at everything, I could probably make this if I wanted to. So, I mean, it's just, you know, a multi-conductor wire, 7-pin DIN on this side that has the special radius to it, which, you know, I can find them all day long on Amazon or any electronics store. And then just get the Molex connector for inside there, do that. So that was probably the only thing I didn't mention the previous owner had done to this bike. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to mention that one. But, oh, the previous owner also originally had a CompuFire on this, and it failed, which is why I've actually converted back to a OEM alternator. I still got the double 50s fuses on the battery, but I've actually gone back to a factory alternator. I may rebuild the CompuFire. I may get another old factory and have a second factory alternator ready to go. Since I've converted to LED, I do not have the amp draw of a stock bike at all. So that was one thing I failed to mention about. So if you guys ever see one that's got that 7-pin and you're like, what's that for? Well, somebody had a old J&M hand mic rig on it. And I could probably take an old, you know, Cobra or Uniden hand mic, cut the end off and convert it to that 7-pin and probably even make those kits. Oh, the other thing I added, I did not mention this at all. Right here I've got a USB waterproof USB port for charging my phone. I keep the cell phones and that on the right side of the bike. Keeps me less tempted to touch it, because going down the road operating the throttle, your hand stays on the throttle more, so hard to go back and forth touching the phone, touching the throttle. Just keep the hand on the throttle, run the phone remotely. Anyway, so sorry about that. That's the last thing I forgot to mention. Oh, okay, one other thing I forgot to mention. Somebody made a comment about this. This bike does have the factory reverse, and it works just fine. Pull out, raise. A lot of people forget about the pull out, pull straight up, and you'll break the pin off that operates the mechanism. So make sure you pull out before you activate it. Bike must be in neutral. Okay, there. I'm pretty sure that's it now. I think. I'm not going to swear by it, because who knows what else I forgot.